Hey guys, it's Tommy with Studio Sense. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm really excited to bring you a fragrance review of a very popular fragrance. In fact, this is the #1 sold fragrance for men, at least here in the US, likely worldwide, and that is Acqua Di Gio by Giorgio Armani. Acqua Di Gio or Acqua Di Gio, however you want to say it. Now, I actually watched the Acqua Di Gio commercials back when it first came out years ago, and that's how they said it, Acqua Di Gio. That's how I say it. But really, again, I don't want to split hairs, tomato. It's fine. We all know what we're talking about. You all know what I'm talking about. The original Acqua Di Gio came out in 1996, I believe, and Acqua Di Gio Profundo, the latest flanker, came out earlier this year, 2020. Instead of saying Acqua Di Gio, I'm just going to say ADG for the duration of this video so you know what I'm talking about, just to make it a little bit easier. Now here's a pictorial view of all of the flankers when ADG first came out in 1996. On a scale of great to good to meh to terrible, we're going to take a closer look at Acqua Di Gio Profundo and see in the line of flankers from the very original, the OG ADG, to this one, how it ranks. If it's something that's going to be worth you getting, worth adding to your rotation or not, and more specifically, why is it they can't seem to find a better name that doesn't confuse the neophyte fragrance user? Profumo, Profundo, tomato. So let's find out. Stay tuned. Coming up next. From the original ADG to ADG Profundo, it has always been a fragrance that it's considered earthy and woody and aromatic fougere. So first off, let's go ahead and take a look at the presentation. It's not going to be anything that will surprise you. On the very top of the box, you've got the Giorgio Armani logo. On this side, you've got the barcode. This side, you have nothing, SKU code, and on the very back, you've got some product information as well. Just a quick look at the box because it's not a big deal. Very similar to all the others. So now the bottle itself is very familiar. It is see-through, however, it's blue. Now there's no light behind it, so you can't really see through it. It probably looks like a solid blue bottle from where your vantage point, your POV, but from mine, where I can see the lights in front of me, it's actually blue. And a very nice blue. Now the bottle itself isn't shiny, it's got a nice matte finish. Very top you've got Giorgio Armani, and see the bottle, Giorgio Armani there. The deep blue cap, I'm going to show you a little bit there so you can see it from all angles. The deep blue cap and the way that the kind of satiny finish on the bottle and the blue color, kind of the deep blue, is an ode to and inspired by the Mediterranean Sea. So that is why they use those colors and this particular palette for the presentation. Now, some of the lids in the past have been magnetic. This is not a magnetic lid, it just clicks into place. However, it clicks very well, and this is a 75 ml bottle. Now, it does come in different sizes. You've got 40, starting from the bottom to the top. You've got 40 ml, 75, and 125, which is traditionally the same as it is with the ADG OG. Now, this is purportedly a serene yet mysterious take on the original, and I've had a chance to wear this for a good while now, and I did want to wait a little bit to kind of write down some notes and formulate my opinion over time instead of just sniffing it, saying, okay, I've got it, and doing a real quick review. So this is based on wearing this for a little while. This is supposed to be a little bit more mysterious, a little bit bluer take on ADG, whereas the original Acqua Di Gio is a fantastic DNA. This does carry that same DNA, only it is a little bit on the bluer side. And when I say bluer, I mean like a darker blue, not like a lighter blue designer fragrance. This is more like on the darker niche side of blue. What I mean by that, this does open up very bright. It opens up very green, but it is darker. To me, it's like it is a very refined, curated spin on the original Acqua Di Gio or ADG DNA. This is the EDP, and when you spray this, it opens up very bright green. You do have that marine, that like salty marine notes that come in there that are aquatic. In fact, let's go over a little bit of the notes. Let's do a quick note breakdown of this. In the top, Profundo has bergamot, mandarin, green mandarin that is, aquazone, and sea notes. In the mid, you've got lavender, cypress, and rosemary. And then going down in the base, you've got amber, patchouli, mineral notes, and musk. Now it's worth repeating that this fragrance is very, very similar in DNA, and in the heart of this and the vibe of this is very, very Acqua Di Gio. So it does carry that original DNA. It just, I don't want to say spices, but it flexes a little bit more. It is darker, deeper, again, more curated, more refined. If this fragrance can become even more refined, it is definitely more refined. If I could choose between Acqua Di Gio OG and this one, I have to say, I actually like this one a little bit better because it's a little bit more modernized, we'll say. But when I say modernized, I just mean like an updated spin. It smells very new, fresh, and relevant. Owing to that fact is the use of mastic. There are several things in this that make it green. You know, you've got the green mandarin, you've got mastic. Mastic is really kind of like a mineralic green quality to this, and marine notes, salty note, bergamot that keeps it that fresh, bright, adds the fruit that goes with the woods. Then you get into the base where you've got amber, patchouli, the musk, and again, that's synthetic mineral notes. The synthetic mineral notes in this is what makes it that salty, briny, kind of the aqua. It is the aqua. It is, to me, the essence of what Acqua Di Gio is. It's a very marine, a very beachy, not marine in terms of coconut, it's more marine in terms of driftwood. Like the essence, like that terminology, deep dive into the profundity of the sea, this is the deep dive. This is the driftwood that's been out in the ocean and absorbed all that salt and that kind of the earthy, like patchouli is to the earth what brine is to the ocean, and that brine, that saltiness, that aquatic, that aqua zone is what's in this. It's like it's condensed in this, and yet it's been made very, very fresh and very new, and that modern spin is due, of course, to the brightness and the fruitiness of the bergamot and how well blended this is, the notes and how they work so well together. It, to me, is a fantastic fragrance. I love it. I like it even, again, a little bit more than the original. In a side-by-side comparison that I've done, my nose seemed to camp towards this more than the original Acqua Di Gio. Having said that, I can't really compare it to Profundo. I can, but to me, they're on the same level. I like them equally as well. It just, again, it depends on how you use them, where you use them, what it is that you're actually going for. If you're going for a very well-received and well-known DNA with a little bit of a spin on it, a modern spin on it, then this is your guy right here. It's definitely an aquatic fougere. It's very aromatic. It is definitely a freshy, a sea, aqua, water, marine freshy. So that is what an aquatic fougere is. Represents sensuality, fluidity, and refined elegance. And really that's what you smell when you smell Acqua Di Gio Profondo. Now, one thing that we like to think about whenever a fragrance first comes out is its intensity. One thing about this that I prefer over the OG is its intensity. Now, what are we talking about when we talk about intensity? Depth, depth of fragrance whenever you first smell it, how long it lingers, how long it lingers on your body. So we're talking about projection, right? And we're talking about longevity. So let's talk a little bit about performance. On average, when I use this, I would get anywhere from between 8 and 11 hours. Now, it is a spring and summer fragrance. Acqua Di Gio has long been used as a signature fragrance, and owing to its versatility, popularity, and its versatility, you definitely can wear this year-round. However, it is best suited primarily for spring and summer weather. Colder weather, and its longevity, its life, and its projection kind of just drops off the scales a little bit. Not wholesale, but just a little bit. So it is best utilized in spring and summer. This fragrance is super fresh, and it doesn't change a whole lot from the open to the mid to the dry down. It is an extremely consistently marine fresh fragrance from beginning to end. A lot of times fragrance is really nice in the open. It maintains that niceness and maybe changes. It gets a little bit quirky in the middle, maybe a little bit challenging, which isn't a bad thing, but then in the dry down it becomes something altogether different, and that can be good or it can be bad, but most often it's bad. This, however, it maintains its heart. The strength of the DNA is maintained from beginning to end, which is really saying a lot because this has a fantastic open. I love the open. So it maintains that brightness, just is dulled lightly from the mid to the dry down. You don't get that bright, that bergamot dries off a little bit, but then you get that airy freshness, that fougere, the aquatic fougere in the mid and all the way through to the dry down. Projection for me is really good. It's average to just above average. And what I mean by that, that's about 2 feet, right, in about 2 hours. So after about 2 hours, I would only occasionally catch it to know that it was on me, whereas the first 2 hours I was always catching a whiff of it. But then that sillage or that projection begins to dial back a little bit over time, and that's natural with most fragrances unless they're absolute bangers. I would call this a banger, but on the scale of bangers, not on the high side. It's a little bit on the lower side, just crossing into that threshold and not maintaining like a really something that is a tremendous amount of projection, say like Mont Blanc Explorer. Doesn't necessarily have the projection of that or the longevity, but it's still within that range. So I would call it a banger. Now again, this fragrance has often been used as a signature fragrance. That is the original and all the other flankers. This flanker is going to be no different. It is best utilized, however, in spring and summer weather and in casual wear, in casual daytime, casual nighttime. There's nothing wrong with using this as a date night fragrance. You can definitely do that. You can wear this to work. Heck, throw on your work clothes, spritz this on, and it'll make you feel like a fresh, everyday working man with a fresh aquatic twist. Whether you're working in a factory or you're working in an office, it's a great everyday work fragrance. And because women are already so familiar with the Acqua Di Gio DNA, this is going to be something that's going to be good in the dating arena as well, because even though they're familiar with it, this again is a little bit more seductive, a little bit more mysterious take on the original Acqua Di Gio. The biggest challenge with ADG Profundo is its cost. Now, because it is still relatively new, this is the original cost. I'm going to show you a screenshot here. This is from Neiman Marcus. Can't really order this from discounters. It's not shown up with discounters yet. When it does show up with discounters, you know, like a lot of fragrances that are extremely well known and well received and well loved, Giorgio Armani does not need discounters. They can sell their product anywhere that they choose, so obviously you're not going to come down in price a tremendous amount. For me, I feel it's like riding the line between the low end and the high end by getting the 75 ml bottles. So that's where I would recommend starting. There's nothing wrong with getting 40 ml. It's just for how long it's going to last, and maybe especially if you're going to make it your signature scent, you might want to go for the 75 ml bottle. Or if money isn't a big deal to you, you've got a lot of disposable income, go for that 125 ml. Absolutely. Heck, I would if I could. This is the perfect size for your average everyday use and even on in becoming your signature scent. I'm going to show you really quickly a spray from the bottle itself. The atomizer on all of Giorgio Armani's bottles are fantastic. Throws the juice on, a good bit of juice, and I love the very refined, modernized, reminted. It's almost like something that's been reminted, like a book, a well-read book. This is, you get a little bit more sense of a cypress and musk going on in here, but it really maintains that aqua zone, and the mastic really are what you're getting in that green mandarin, because you get that bergamot, you've got a bright, juicy bergamot, and then you go, it's going green, right? So it goes green in the very beginning. That bergamot burns off a little bit from the open to the mid. However, it is some high quality bergamot because it's still there in the mid and into the dry down a little bit too. But in the dry down, primarily you're dealing with the aquatic notes, your watery notes, your aqua zone, and your mastic, and it is a little bit cypressy. The woods aren't as well perceived and I guess perceived, yeah, sorry, word flippage there. But the woods, it's not necessarily so much woody as it is aquatic. This is a wonderful, wonderful aquatic fougere. All right, guys, that's it for my review of Giorgio Armani's Acqua Di Gio Profundo, the latest flanker in the line of wonderful fragrances that are so well known and so well received. We all love the ADG DNA. This is a great addition, in fact better in my estimation than all the other flankers, and at least to me it's preferable to the OG. Now I do like the OG and I go back and forth, and I'm probably going to always kind of seesaw back and forth just because it depends on how you're using them, where you're going, what kind of versatility you're looking for, and what kind of longevity you want in your fragrance. Because you don't always want a fragrance that's going to last 12 hours, and you don't always want a fragrance that's only going to last 2 or 3. So the OG has great life, shelf life, great longevity, great sillage. Same with Profundo. But for my purposes today, at this moment in time, in March 2020, this is my favorite so far of all. Profundo is right up there with it as well, so it's hard to pick a favorite. But I can say with a surety that the quality is there. It is not going backwards as some flankers do. Hopefully you'll find a spot on your rotation to pick up Profundo. Thank you so much for joining me today and taking the time to sit down and watch my review of Acqua Di Gio Profundo. Thank you so much, as always, for your support. I truly appreciate it. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you next time.